For a second day in a row in Lebanon, Hezbollah hit with another wave of exploding devices, this time walkie-talkies, blowing up in the hands of hundreds of Hezbollah terrorists, killing at least 20, injuring 450 more. This is just 24 hours after thousands of pagers simultaneously exploded, killing 12 and injuring nearly 3,000. Handheld radios even exploded at funerals where victims were being buried from yesterday's attack. Hezbollah security members screaming at one point, anyone who has a device, take out the battery now, turn off your phone, switch it to airplane mode. Hezbollah, which is backed by Iran, has already pointed the finger at Israel. Most agree it has the hallmarks of an Israeli operation. Remember, Hezbollah has been firing missiles at Israel since October 7th, and tensions between the two have been rising. Israel not commenting on the incident, but the defense minister did claim the country is entering a new phase in the war, which requires courage, determination, and perseverance, when speaking with troops today. Sources telling CNN that the U.S. was notified by Israeli officials they were planning to carry out some operation in Lebanon, but provided no details. The White House saying in no uncertain terms it had nothing to do with it.
We were not involved in yesterday's incidents or today's in any way, and I don't have anything more to share.
So how did they do it, presuming it was Israel? And how did they do it again? Joining me now, former CIA officer and FBI Special Agent Tracy Walder, who's worked with investigating terrorist organizations. Thanks very much for coming on. Appreciate it. All right, how were they able to pull this off a second day?
Well, thank you so much for having me, Dan. I think the reason that they were able to pull it off is because what you had mentioned before, they didn't seem to get the message that they needed to get rid of their technological devices. I think they assumed that this was isolated to pagers only, but they obviously assumed incorrectly, and I do think that this could potentially have compromised all of their electronic devices.
So someone in Israel, and Mossad or whoever it is, obviously got access to all of their all of their electronics, all of the recent electronics, and somehow booby-trapped them? And you ever seen anything like this before?
So yes and no. Obviously, I worked with Mossad when I was at the CIA. They do a lot of very targeted assassination attempts, right? But we've just never seen anything like this on this scale. So doing these kind of specific precision targeting is not unusual. It's the scale that's unusual. What I think happened is they got the walkie-talkies and the pagers on the same delivery about 5 months ago from that company in both Taiwan and in Japan. It went to that intermediary that was in Hungary. That company was set up in 2022. I personally feel that it was perhaps an Israeli shell company, and they knew from whatever asset they had inside Hezbollah that they were procuring them from there.
Huh. And so could there be another round of this?
You know, there could and there couldn't. I feel that this is perhaps a prelude to a larger military operation from Israel into Lebanon.
But the Hezbollah is saying that they're going to respond. I guess we shall see how they're going to do that and if they're going to do that. Tracy Walder, thank you so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.